She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
That was so controversial. Sir.
Sir! Whoa, don't want the transporter to cycle twice, but maybe it will. Hello. Good evening, sirs and madams. Welcome to you all. As you can see, I have my friends Radioactive, Wes Cagle, and Crimwan. Crimwan is with us. Welcome, guys. Good to see everybody. I've got my Blade Runner t-shirt on tonight and my Jets hat, so I'm ready for pain. How is everybody doing? Good evening, sirs.
Good evening.
Yeah,
guys.
Good evening there, Admiral Teag.
Good to see you. It's been a while. It's good to have everyone here. Thursday night, we managed to get together, and we have everyone from the Landman panel. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll lean into a little bit of Landman. I finally finished all of it. I'll admit this. I got to watch episode 10 again. Sort of packed with stuff. There's a lot of cringe beatdown going on there. Whoa! The worst cringe beatdown so far. Oh, man. Oh, I had to close my eyes. I was like, that was a cringy beat up scene where the Sicario beats on Tommy. Then, just driving a nail into his leg, like a 10-penny nail. Absolutely no decorum. And I guess the only question I would ask is, did anyone think he was going to call anyone Butt Dale?
Who's Butt Dale?
Wow, Crimlon, good effect. Sir, Dale is he is the drilling guy, the head of drilling and rigging. Hard R, rigging. That's Dale. He lives at the rent house.
Yes. Yes, the poor unfortunate soul that got caught in the shower.
He has remained comic relief throughout the season. When he shows up, he drops like 2 humor bombs and walks away. He's only gotten salty like once, and even then, when I think it was Rebecca pushed back on him, he was like, I'm just busting your balls, ha ha ha. Like Dale remains fun. I thought it was fun to see Dale, even though, I guess he's about the toughest, most badass person Tommy knew and could trust in that situation is basically why he calls him. You're not calling Nathan, you're not calling Angela, you're not calling Ainsley. The only thought was, my second choice was maybe he's calling Cooper. I know. Wow. Hey, Mr. House Party 6. Thank you, sir. I missed this. Thank you. Sharpens his bathleth. And then RRTNZ has rang in and says, can't stay long as I'm at work. Looking forward to the Star Wars Oops Enterprise Season 3 retrospective. See you all then. For now, boldly keep going. Live long and prosper. You will be on that panel with us. RRTNZ and the Dead Man, who I'm in contact with, are there. So RRTNZ with a $5 New Zealand super chat. He'll be with us live this Saturday night when we do the we do the Star Trek show. 10 p.m. It's a retrospective on season 3, the most unique Star Trek season yet. And also Mr. House Party 6 with a $10 American super chat. Thank you, sir. I'm not worthy of this. Very, very grateful indeed. We're going to lean hard into the entertainment. We started off with Landman. I guess we'll talk Landman a little more, and we'll leave up gorgeous Sydney Sweeney. Mr. House Party 6, you want this. We thank you, but since the cleavage is up there, I think we got to show that for the moment. But we thank everyone's here. Let's see who we got out there. Some quick shout outs to the crowd. We got Team FKHC 2005. We have Radioactive Actual both here and in the chat. My friend the Trek Reviewer. We have my friend Buddy Hepburn. Good to see you. He's swinging the wrench for us. We have the Dead Man. He will be joining us on Saturday night. We have spoken. We are in contact now. It's good to see you, sir. We have Mr. House Party 6, who has made a generous donation that covers Sydney Sweeney's bosoms, but we still like it. There it is. Thank you so much, sir. Wes Cagle is both here and in the chat, and we have a great time to get ready for and talk about all the things that we've seen and are going to see. It's a kind of a magical moment here, if you would, with me. I finished up Landman Season 1, and I got to say, not only was I not disappointed, I'm looking forward to Season 2. It ended on like a real cool note, although I guess, is this one fair to say? I don't know whether... I guess it's really good that it went full circle and we ended up having Landman be in the same situation he starts out in, tied to a chair with a bag over his head, being yelled at by a random Sicario. What did you guys think of that? Symmetry?
Yeah.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was not looking good for him for a while there.
Some people
You knew
have
he's
to
the-
pay to get that kind of fun.
Yeah, if it was a chick in a BDSM costume, it's a lot more controversial, shall we say. This was a rerun of episode 1 in the sense that we have a Sicario, and at this point, it's only what used to be originally the reasonable Sicario from episode 1. And by episode 10, he's become the frustrated as fuck Sicario, because everything that they threatened in the middle of the show happened. I was surprised they paid this off, but they got their one Black Hawk helicopter, and they did some real nice fake radio chatter, and we had a lot of fun with what happened was they got the Texas National Guard to go do some maneuvers in the middle of the desert. They told them, yeah, don't worry, there's no one there. And there wasn't supposed to be. But I guess every moment that anyone's not watching any part of this, 6,500 square acre patch? It's huge. They just start doing live fire helicopter exercises with this. And artillery and whatever the hell it is, and they blow apart a van, and they blow apart they're like, oh, cool, thanks for the hard targets. It's like, I guess it was a helicopter gunship raid? I don't know. We see a Black Hawk fly in for battle damage assessment, and the phone call from the colonel is like, do you realize how badly you traumatized my guys? And Tom is like, well, hell, I'll fault them were soldiers. He's like, these guys are National Guard. We're not supposed to be like killing people. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Weren't they using it for a live artillery range?
He told them to do whatever they want. We hear like indeterminate radio chatter. We hear about live targets being targeted. So I thought perhaps there was line of sight on them. They destroy, or no, we hear hard targets being targeted on. I assume there was some form of line of sight, but yeah, they drop an artillery barrage, and it's as accurate as could be, or they just didn't have enough money to make like a withering barrage. Hey, the Dead Man, thank you so much. The Dead Man, sorry, the Dead Man. We know a Dead Man too. The Dead Man, $4.99. The windmill episode convinced me that global warming grift as well. A grift. You know, I'm not afraid to address this one. I thought the show presented the alternative energy in context really well, with Tommy sort of having like, did anyone think he was against it so much as, oh shucks, it's not going to be ready in time? He's like, I don't think it's a waste of time to have it for technological research, and I'm sure in 100 years we'll have like, propellers made of solar panels that'll work 1/3 of the time. But for now, it's a load of shit. But that seemed to be where he was going. Was like, let's keep researching it, but it's not an answer. That anyone on Tommy's green energy outlook there?
Yeah, well, that's what I've been saying for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I keep saying this. It's a good investment because the oil's going to eventually run out, but it ain't where it needs to be yet. But we will get there.
It might need to be a commercial-sized experiment, though, to have enough of a sample size to work with, right? We have to have dead ends and other stuff that we learn from and stuff boomeranging around technically. It can't be just a linear one-person work, like Thomas Edison trying to make a light bulb all day and all night. This show is like a drama set against the oil industry. It is not per se a show about oil or energy consumption or anything like that, but there's a few times where they say things that like you're going to hear in any 6th or 10th grade classroom. The world uses a lot of oil and petrochemicals. You can look all around you and see them. Let me leave this up there while we talk about it. Let's see if I can't rearrange us so that we're a little more well situated. I think I'm one person short. There we go. I thought that the show took like a pretty cool and agnostic approach to the way energy is handled in the world by sort of having like this outlook that we have a few things going on here. None of them are in and of themselves the greatest of all ideas, but like there are no real answers. So it was just like, well, hell, the oil works real good. We got a 130-year culture built around it. And she's like, so that's the answer. It's like, well, hell, we're going to run out. And before then, we'll go to war. And it'll be like, this might just be a Road Warrior prequel right here. And then, like, the next thing is like, so the alternative energy work. It's like, oh, that's just a goddamn scam. At this point, ma'am, we got to work a lot harder to make that seem like it's any kind of good idea. So it was just like, he ran, and it was just like a quick nod to, well, we probably should have jumped into nuclear, but one movie scared everybody off. The fuck you gonna do? It was just like one of those it's a missed opportunity moments on that one. It was like, that was a real weird sort of cards on the table. This is how Taylor Sheridan and the writers felt about Landman and his outlook on the energy industry. Is like, our society is built on oil. We got to keep pumping it. The alternative energy is there because we're off the grid. It's reliable enough, but don't think it's carbon free. We're never going to break even on it. It's using petrochemicals even as we speak. And also, like, while right now a losing proposition, it seemed like maybe, and it was inferred, but it wasn't like he wasn't into the alternative energy. He admitted it was for real. So inferred in there would be, I guess, Tommy feels like, yeah, if we keep watching and working on it, it'll be possibly okay. What did you guys think? Radioactive, you really enjoyed the takedown at the wind farm.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't work.
Right now, right? It doesn't work right.
Yeah,
it works for his purposes.
Here's the thing.
It works for his purposes too.
But you're not
going
to replace your entire energy infrastructure with windmills and solar panels. You're not going to cover the entire country in windmills and solar panels. It's just not going to work. That's why it doesn't work. Plus the fact you have to worry about energy storage. And what are you going to store it in? Batteries? No. That's a whole other story for another day. Sorry.
No, I wanted you to get your opinion out there. Here's the thing. Tommy seems to think that the alternative energy it's not great, but it's reliable enough to power their patch of Texas, especially because the oil companies are seen as super wealthy and super, like, at least on certain things, there's real good cooperation. There is super awesome cooperation on making sure they have electrified their area of the patch. It's said they're off the grid. There's no subplot about patchy electricity. So I guess the idea is they've got so many windmills and so much redundancy that for them it'll work with whatever else they're able to siphon from some super long extension cord to wherever the grid ends. But like as far as the wind farm takedown goes, he's like, that's about it because we're so far off the grid. But remember, the patch is a few hundred miles from Midland. Before Tommy starts driving around the patch, he has to drive like 60 miles to get there. And that's the outer edge. And then he drives like, what do you say, a 300-mile circle on any given day. And that doesn't necessarily cover the whole patch, but just a chunk of it. So for their needs for as much oil and cell coverage as they need for the parts of the patch they're in, the alternative energy is holding up. And it seems like he sort of shrugs it off as, it's, what we should use it to experiment with or whatever. Like perhaps down the road, it'll be good technologically, but right now it's exactly how you said it was, where it's just, there's no way to get enough at any given time to be a viable solution for any part of this country. Not a Minneapolis, St. Paul sized city in the sunniest part of America with a lot of wind. We're not there yet. If there's any fiction in Landman, it might be that they're able to power that much of an area off a huge wind farm, but we don't see how big it is.
Yeah, well, how much? I wonder how much. How many? He said he's got like 17 wells, doesn't he? So
they have something like 60 wells.
Oh, do they? Okay. Oh, 17 is just the number that they
the number that
need to service.
West.
17 need to be reworked.
Yeah, that was the ones that were in just that local area, but there's many more than that.
Oh,
by episode, it's 6,500 square acres, I believe it's said, of oil-rich area. And what they found out is it's sort of honeycombed with deposits of oil, and it's no big deal, Wes Cagle. It's sort of honeycomb with oil, and like, here's the deal. At a certain level, there's a lot of oil, but it's just the top. And in pockets that are deeper, there's a whole lot more. So in the top areas, they've siphoned off some, but it's looking like technology has advanced and more oil has been discovered deeper inside the patch and deeper within the ground, that now if they use a lot of technology and a lot of skill, they can get a lot more oil out of this, and it can be like it was 30 years ago. And that's what Cooper's bid is on. We're kind of talking about the end of season 1 of Landman more than anything else at this part of the show. We'll probably find our way to Star Trek. What did you guys think of how the setup was between his take on the 3 kinds of energy and his take on the future of oil in the patch? Just sort of like, this is the way it is. Maybe these other things become a stopgap. His only case for the alternative energy was that with enough of it, it's redundant enough to get done what you need to do for a barren patch of desert, and 2, maybe down the road, the technology advances.
I mean, it comes off more realistic.
There's no agenda for anything. Nothing is painted in like glowing light. Like the petrochemical thing's like, it is what it is, works real great, society's built around it, but who knows?
Exactly. I think that's just more of the realist mindset. Someone that's pretty much seen majority of it through the majority of his life, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I told you this is exactly his whole take is what I've been saying for forever now. So, I mean, it's exactly what I've been saying.
Tommy is fairly like even-handed and like relatively based. He's had a few Michelob Ultras, which he considers non-alcoholic beer. I love the line at the Patch Cafe where he's like, I'll have another non-alcoholic beer, and the guy knows better than to fuck with him now. and he just slides it over to him. And Rebecca goes to the bartender. She goes, "Those are non-alcoholic." He goes, "Yeah, they're non-alcoholic if you're an alcoholic." It just doesn't say anything else. Just keeps walking. Great
to
delivery.
a normal person, I mean, anyone that drinks it, sorry, it basically is non-alcoholic.
You're gonna get a knock-on effect if you drink a 6-pack of it. You'll have like some beer in you for sure. But yeah, it's not like It's not like Cooper who drinks a Modelo with a lot of gusto and wants to feel a little bit of the effect of alcohol. But when Cooper drinks, I've noticed like Tommy drinks with like sad resignation. Cooper like. I don't know. He's his father pre the whiskey meltdown, or like too aware to be a whiskey addict. So like he's just like he sucks down that Modelo with gusto. Though I don't know if it's supposed to reflect the actor's take on how the character views life. But have you noticed like what Cooper sort of eats and drinks with a lot of enthusiasm? Like he tucks right in there to that crazy Mexican food, which he's warned is crazy Mexican food by his girlfriend.
Crazy Mexican food? What crazy?
Yeah, it's spicy. It actually
that's
gets-
not spicy.
It doesn't
That's
bother
called
Cooper.
normal.
Yeah, that's like mild or bland.
I don't know. It's very Tex-Mex,
that's
Tex-Mex
called Tex-Mex.
ready landman. But here's the thing: very Tex-Mex ready and Tex-Mex accustomed landman Tommy takes like one huge bite of it, and he's like, "Oh!" That's the only moment of like pure Tommy comedy. Like it's the only time Billy Bob is funny in a way that's not ironic. It's like it's like I guess he's only funny when he's in pain, but this is funny pain because we know it's not going to damage him long term. But he just tucks in there and eats way too much real spicy food, and Cooper's like, "You get used to it," and she's like, "Shut up and eat, landman. You do as I say." And then he's sort of like gets it. She like her character moment is she yells at Tommy about giving her shit for having stuff going on with Cooper. We get a pin in time. He says, "What is it? It's 3 weeks later," which means we haven't seen every minute of every day. And he even says it was day 3 or something like that of work when the truck got destroyed. He did like the coffee run and later that day and what we see next. Those are different days. Like it's not it's not one long crazy day. So he worked with them for 3 days. And so Armando was the head of that crew and Manuel was the bully in the other crew. And Elvio is the guy from the first crew who was married to Ariana, who is now trying to deal with it. And as much as no one wants to hear it from her, I would say it was very much what you'd expect. Like, it was honesty like you don't usually get from someone. Like, when she was talking to Cooper, he's like, "What is this? I gotten beat up for you. I care about you." And she's like, "It's really soon." He's like, "Didn't that ship kind of sail before things started getting pretty intimate with us, whatever it is we are doing, edging or whatever?" And she's like, "I don't know. It's weird. Like maybe next week I wake up and can't live with it." And I was like, at least the show's being honest. Like she's being more honest than most women would be. What did you guys think of like their conversation about like the fragility of their relationship? Because look, she's mourning her husband, and really right now what it is about they're trying to get the best settlement to end out their part of the story.
She knows where she's going with it.
Yeah, it's a strange way of mourning your husband, in my opinion. Most women don't mourn their husband's passing by laying on their back in their bed with another guy with their legs in the air.
Wes Cagel's wife is watching this, thinking, like making plans. She's got like a schematic on the board. She's like, "Wes, have you thought about working on the boiler?" I'm just fucking with you, buddy.
No, that's
That's Cribwad, what did you think of Ariana's like sticker shock? It seems like she jumped into this with 1.5 feet. I don't feel like they've had sex. Does anyone feel like they've had sex yet as season 1 ends? No.
I think she knows where she wants to go with it, but she's very,
cuddling and petting.
I think she's she's not sure if it's appropriate or I don't know how it explains.
Listen,
but yeah,
it
just seems like she's uncomfortable at this point.
How does this sound to you, Cooper? It seems like this. Cooper mostly sleeps on the couch, and like he wakes up on the couch. But a lot of nights, especially after he gets beat up, he starts out and stays in bed, and she goes to the couch because he's been beat up so bad. And after he's been beat up, things are taken to the next level because he got beat up for Ariana. So what happens is, after the beatdown, when he's recovering at Ariana's place, he's in her bed and Elvio's old bed. And by the way, buy a new mattress. You just got $700,000. Buy a new mattress and move on. It's a little gross. Move the bed to the other side of the room. Change up the vibe. I don't know what to tell you.
Doesn't
But
sound like they were married all that long, and didn't sound like she was wanting to be married to him for much longer anyway.
They try to patch it together in a way that makes sense, but it sounds like, yeah. Here's the thing, Ariana's suspect command of English, everything she has is written in Spanish. It's apparent from the way she talks to Cooper that I guess she can't read English, but she has almost no accent and speaks English with a high degree of proficiency. The show is not completely, like, on its... The show is not completely secure, showing us where she is with her understanding of English. And is anybody come in that I've missed? I would like all of you guys to weigh in on Ariana. And hello, Oiler Greg. Welcome. You got a membership the other night. You're a member of our channel, sir. You'll get to see there's some good bonus content. Check it out. Guys, where are you on Ariana's command of English? Let's start with Radioactive. Sir, do you think she knows what the hell's going on? She speaks English pretty well. She understands every word spoken to her?
Well, yeah, because she's in the U.S. public school system. That's why she can't read and write it.
Oh, very controversial, sir.
Oh, that's not controversial at all. He's speaking truth.
Sirs,
Yeah.
I'm a product of the New York City school system.
That says a lot.
Yeah, that's
Sir,
even
that
worse.
was so controversial. Sir.
A lot of people went to school in New York City. Isn't that right? The president went to school in New York.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's moving on. Okay, and Krimon, do you think she understands English? And do you think she can read English? What's the deal?
If she doesn't read English, then there's something else going on here. I think she's faking it.
You have some serious reverb going on, or the show's not doing a really good job of explaining her, maybe?
Well, to be fair, Teague, it's probably one of the weaker subplots in the show.
We spend enough time with it because it doesn't cost a lot of money. Her and Cooper, this is what they do. They sit in rooms and talk. I mean, it is interesting. They're compelling characters, but they sit in rooms and talk. Wes Cagle, where do you think Ariana is on the English language?
Well, I think she can. I think she can speak it just fine. She may not be completely. There
like legalese is beyond her, but she can read like a menu.
Yeah, there are plenty of native-born Americans that aren't great with they don't have a mastery of the English language. That's probably where she's about at. So
I think quite a bit of those end up in maybe the New York, Baltimore area.
Sure, I mean, but here's the thing: she's not affected. She doesn't have like a speech affectation like Jennifer Lopez has more of what I would call a New York Rican sort of accent than we ever. Krimon, I think I like you with the echo of God. I don't know why you're getting it, but I'll stick with it. It works.
Echo of God, huh? Echo.
Yeah, no, it gives you like this omnipotence. It's like, no, she's a dumb whore. Okay, hey, Jason Love, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. It's good to see. What the hell? Don't make me kick you, mate. That's what somebody said to me once. So, hi, mate. Don't make me kick you out of here.
Button by accident. My bad.
Okay. No problem. Listen, I'm confused about where Ariana is on the English language. It kind of like it seems to be like conversationally able to carry on, but like not exactly articulate, and like I don't think the word anti-disestablishmentarianism is in her vocabulary, nor is a word like reticent Like, the word reticent would have her confused, but aside from that, like, if she could hold a functional conversation, and as long as you didn't try to dazzle her, you'd be okay. But is it episode 9 that opens up with Rebecca, like, fuck youing Cooper right to his face over and over and over, and threatening to make him look like maybe he wanted that accident to happen, and even though, like, he's innocent in it, he's going to get away with it because he didn't do anything. But and it's gonna, like, that seems provable. Like, he couldn't engineer a gas leak. He didn't make the well 30 years old. He's only 22. What did you think of her tactics when they showed her as foul-mouthed, mean, and willing to lie? And was she having more fun because it was Tommy's son? What do you think, West?
Well, I see. I think she just. I don't know. I there are times with her character. There's times that I'm like, I enjoy her character. I like her character, and then there's other times I'm going, this is a real piece of shoe. She's just a piece
She's
of
a
garbage.
piece of shit. She's a terrible person. The thing is that, like, there's no real reason for that character to be in the show. So, like, she's had mission creep. She was supposed to investigate the plane crash. Somehow she ends up on the wellhead explosion. And at the end of the season, right before he croaks, Monty goes and makes her the head of acquisitions for the company because he's like, she's the best negotiator I've ever seen. I'm just like, what are you doing, you idiot? Because, like, her job is to like wall off people from responsibility for whatever they do.
Yeah, the problem with her, the way she handles things, her whole tactic for negotiations is to try to bully and threaten. And the problem with that is the minute you go to the well for them to make threats, if the other person doesn't cave, you're done. You're completely done. If the threat doesn't work, you're done. Now they know they have the upper hand. So
she showed a way of taking of threat escalation by taking hostages financially. In the legal sense, like when her ploy to settle the wellhead explosion doesn't quite work out, she comes back with a counteroffer. She'll play ball, but she's not going any higher, and she cracks down with, if you don't do this, I guess we just won't pay anybody. And that really ramps up the pressure. Cooper makes one more gambit. They readjust just a little bit, and we get like a settlement that was like a lot more compassionate than the one that was originally offered, and it didn't come with all the problems that we had with trying to screw people and making Rebecca too evil. Right now, it seems like with a little bit of guidance that maybe she could make it to decent but flawed person. It doesn't seem like she's a total human lost cause yet, to me. I don't know. I could be wrong here.
yeah, well, she got, the whole scene that I liked was where she put the other lawyers in their place in that deposition.
That was a great scene.
But
and by the way,
thing is that Cooper puts her in her place because her top ceiling, the line in the sand, was the $500,000. He goes through the throat, and his demand is double. And I think she's like, oh, he just roasts her, man. It
wasn't quite double if you consider the fact that what she did was she filed down into their settlement by using stuff they'd already earned as part of it, saying, well, you're going to get basically $500,000. And he was like, how's that fair? You know what I mean? It's like, they already earned that.
Exactly. That shows you the level of scumbag she can be, is because when she goes, did they factor in their retirement funds? No, because that doesn't count for a settlement.
Because she wouldn't do that.
Not. Yeah.
Nathan says to her,
her thing is, they don't know that.
Nathan says to her, let's leave being lawyers at the door.
Yeah, and she can't do that, though, unfortunately.
She flexes on Nathan and uses them as pawns. Here she is out of character. Look how different she looks. Like, you never see that amount of, like, happiness. Or she's a good actress. She's able to put on the bitch face, and she has, like, aggressive bitch face.
Oh, yeah.
Grimlon,
she got bitch face throughout
you've
the
got
whole
some
show.
good surface noise.
Surface noise.
Yes. Hold on. Let's see something. Yeah, you have you have like the you know what? Turn that back on. I think I can do something. That was me. Good. Yeah.
How about now?
It's what I did was I turned off your background noise. Don't mess with it. Let me do it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna mess with the mic volume just a little. What happens is you have a little bit of leave the background noise reduction on. Are you turning it off or is it turning itself off?
Oh, I'm not doing anything.
Okay, the background noise is fighting me out now. There's a weird like technical issue. StreamYard's just weird all week.
How about
Let's see
this?
what happens. You know what? Let's try this.
That sound better?
That's weird. It should have gone away. Hold on. I'm still hearing it. I remove radioactive, not Kremlin. That's why. Duh. All right. If I remove Kremlin and put him back in, it might go away. Kremlin, open up your mic for a second. No, it's still there. Let's try one more time.
It's my radioactivity that's causing the problems.
Yeah, it's the low on the Geiger counter. Could you just do me a favor, unmute the talk so we don't get the surface noise? I'm sorry, buddy.
That's no problem.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. All right. So by the way, we took this as we go on with Landman. Take the poll. 14 votes. Try the veal. Feelings on the proposed Gremlins 3 movie. No one cares anymore. Is 57% right now. I'd see it 21%. Small soldiers equals Gremlins 3 to me. No one buys into that, but it kind of is. It was their version of it. I'm just looking at catching up on the private chat for my channel. We have a little bit of confusion here. Thank you for bearing with us, guys. In the world of entertainment, we have a few stories that I worked on for you today. I took a look at some of our top trending stories and some of the things that we follow on a regular basis, and I think you'll find that today Paramount News is kind of interesting. We were talking about Landman Season 1. Landman Season 1, all the plots come crashing together. One of the things we got to remember here is Monty dies, sirs. Monty dies. He makes a couple of like really sad speeches and then he dies. Wes Gagel, how great was it to see Jerry Jones tell Monty about like what it was like to be the only successful landman ever?
Yeah, I liked this.
Weird.
I thought the scene was good. Unfortunately, like a lot of things in this show, specifically the scenes between Cooper and Ariana, it was too long. It was too,
It was a bit long.
yeah. The Jerry Jones scene was just a little too long. He needed to come in, say his piece, make his little speech, his little
Why being a
yeah.
landman sometimes works out is the only
Yes.
way to put
and
his,
then bonk out. But they drug it. They drug it a little long, I think.
Check her out of character. This is Ariana Julia Chavez.
Yeah.
Not a great outfit. The terry cloth jumper just not looking great on her, but like the hair and the eyes and the face, much better than we see in the show. This character just wears a halter top and jeans the whole time, and walks around looking, kind of like her hair is almost always up or tied back. She's got a lot going on. She's busy. She's got this baby that's like about 6 months old, and she said she loved Elvio, but like, he didn't ever look at her the way Cooper did. And by implication, like, I don't know, lived in a sheltered neighborhood or a sheltered area of northern Mexico where he ended up meeting her and bringing her back as like a prize bride because he worked in a patch and he was like rich by American standards, so godlike rich by Mexican standards, according to the meta of the show. Anybody? What? I don't even know. Like, they have to ground Ariana maybe a little better. Impressions of what her relationship to Elvio and how the hell she ended up married to him. She does cry and mourn him finally, and throws away his like $400 Nikes. That bitch.
Yeah, don't throw those away.
Don't give him the Cooper either, though. I guess.
No. See, I again, I don't have a problem with somebody moving on eventually, but how about eventually? Not like 3 days after the funeral.
Well, I mean, it is kind of realistic in that sense.
And the thing is, if I'm Cooper, I'm like, listen,
Grimon, your sound is perfect now.
Oh, it's because I took a baseball bat to my computer.
It worked good. Yeah, do that more often. Yeah. I didn't like. Ariana is a character that they have to build on a little more for me to be able to understand her. She does finally grieve her husband. She gives a decent explanation as to why she's so confused and why she's done the things she's done. We know that, like, this, it seems to be like this is as far as this relationship has gone. They lay in bed because Cooper's a beat up mess. He's on painkillers because he doesn't know, because he got his ribs broken and everything else. And she just kind of like lays there like, oh, poor baby. And it's like mommy love like he never got from like psycho mom Angela, who probably had an au pair and definitely didn't breastfeed him or anything like that. It's like, he ain't batting on my breast. Like I could just picture young Angela as a mother. Must have been a horror story of a human being. And so he's like finally seeing like motherhood and love like he never saw at home, and that impresses him and like makes him care about her. You know, it's like, wow, she's a good person like I've never met, unlike my vacuous sister and my like calculating mom. So he's impressed by that, and just sort of like she's being like they're falling in love, but there's like a maternal side to it between him and her, and I think that's what's roping him in. Like Angela having been a bit of like a lackluster to bad mom. Guys, thoughts? Crimlon, you go first. I couldn't hear you there, buddy.
I think that was a very interesting take, Grimwan.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a very interesting take. Sorry.
I think he was double muted and unmuted.
It's always
one.
a smart policy. It happens. Yeah, I've done it.
Well, and for me, you know, anything that's just, you know, being quiet, that is the best policy. Just don't say anything. I've been told
that's
that
what's
plenty
going
times.
on. That's what's been going on with Cooper and Ariana, and she's finally come clean that she could change her mind about this whole thing next week. She doesn't know how she feels about him, and she's sort of confused at best about the relationship, but she knows that he really cares about her, and she's never felt the kind of feelings she's having for him because, like she said, like, I loved LVO. He was funny. He was nice to me, but also, like, he was distant and thinking only about money, which is something Cooper's going to do again, but to her. But she said he never looked at me the way you look at me. So, like, there's something going back and forth. Like, he's never seen this kind of maternal love for the baby, and like maternal care of him after he gets beat up. Like, that's as much mom love as he's gotten his entire life, is when she cuddles with him in bed and edges with him a little bit before she goes out to sleep on the couch now. And now finally it looks like they're ready to cohabitate. She definitely wasn't like close with the children. She had an au pair or something, or, you know, a nanny. Anyone else think that Angela's like being a terrible mom figures into this relationship for Cooper and maybe justifies his side of it a little more? Anyone?
I just think he makes bad choices.
I was going to say she factors into to both of the kids.
Yeah.
Well, it explains the way their daughter is, being kind of a lunatic herself, basically just following after her mother, and then poor Cooper. It also explains the reason why he's just kind of just really not very outgoing.
He's very driven. His plan at the end of the show to make money is pretty solid. When we find out a few more things about the patch and the exposition drop at the Wellhead farm, which was well done, for lack of a better term. In the final episode, everything just comes together. The Sicarios get fired on in episode 9. They blow up a bunch of wellheads in episode 10. Then they put the bag on Tommy and beat the hell out of him again. And again, like another pragmatic Sicario comes on the scene, guns down the less pragmatic Sicario, who was once the pragmatic Sicario. And so now, like, El Jefe of all Jefes is kind of there, and he's like, you know, seems to me like he's the most powerful guy, maybe Narco Lord. And he's like, we go back to what happened. You do what you do, and we do what we do, and like you try to get the army out of here, and we'll just move our product and leave you alone. It's like, if you do that, or we'll build DEA and us a facility. We'll build them a fucking city for free. And he's like, I believe you, so we're not going to do anything more. And you guys, we went a little bit too far in a few places, but you know what?
Stylistically designed to be that way, and you can't undo that, but we can diminish the effects of it.
And that's basically where they leave off. They pull the nail out of his leg, or he does, in a cringe moment. And he stumbles out of there, and he calls Dale and gets back to his place where he tells his wife he wrecked the car and then tells her not to ask questions. And I was pretty shocked that Angela was smart enough to shut up, but I guess she knows where the money's coming from, and she knows that her being quiet and calm about this has a lot to do with it. So she's not going to mess around. Hello, Lombardi. It's good to see you, sir. Did I miss anyone? Is there anyone out there I haven't said hi to? I think I got
Gavin?
you all. If I haven't, apologies.
Did you,
if you're lurking, say hi.
Say hello to Gavin.
Gavin Blackburn. I think I said hi to Gavin, but Gavin, if I haven't, hello to you, sir. It's great to see you. Welcome. It's the first week of the month. Soon, I think we will gather together as channel members and celebrate again. That was a fun time last time. I don't know if we could do it every time, but it might be fun to try it again. It was fun last time. I really enjoyed it. I found that the payoff in the final episode was really good. We found out that this played out patch of oil land, well, there's a couple of secrets to it that make it not so played out, and your luck has to just hold out a little better than you think it does. There's a parasitical lease, and they have to rework the terms. I know I said hello to Jason, but I'll say hello to Jason Love again. Hello, sir. There's a parasitical lease, and it's not the most fantastical thing in the world, but they're going to find a way to get themselves to a point where they don't have to be as behind the eight ball as they would be if they're going to renegotiate their bank terms so that they can hit a few wells before they have to start paying off. They have to start making some money before they pay off. That's what they tell her she has to pull off. And then what they tell her is we're going to heighten the odds of hitting oil right away by doing this, this, and this between the horizontal drilling and the fracking that they say they're going to do. And she's like, all right, I'll give it a try. And it seems to me as we head to season 3, Tommy needs to go to the hospital to get a tetanus shot. We've seen his feelings on first aid. He's disdainful of it, to say the least. But anybody want him to go to the hospital and get a tetanus shot? And the time frame of the show has been 3 weeks.
Yeah. I just thought, when they put the nail in his leg, his idea would be just to cut the leg off.
Yeah, I just bought his penknife and just do that, the sociopath that he is. We never know what he's going to try next. He really is just a whack guy. It's a lot of fun. If you're coming through later, guys, tag up in the comments. Ask me a Landman question. Make a Landman comment. The people who come through later are the life's blood of this program, and that's why I keep the commercial count really low. I want you guys to re-listen and get your feedback and answer your Landman questions, if not in the comments on the show, because I've been asked some thought-provoking questions. So this is Julia Chavez, Ariana. I guess we've had our moment of her. Let's see who else we have. Here's an important character for next season. I used to call her Dummy Moron.
I mean, it fits.
She is a better actress now than she was when she was young, when she was only okay but not great. Now she's pretty darn good. She's been at it a long time, though. Hey, she was once engaged to Emilio Estevez, sirs.
Well, I mean, the older you get, she's kind of hit the wall already, so she better learn how to act.
She stuck to that wall pretty well. She looks 50 still.
I liked her in her older roles. What is it? The Seventh Sign. I thought that was
a good movie. That was the last pre-big boob Demi Moore movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she didn't have to act as hard, so she was just relying on her beauty at that time.
That movie was kind of okay and had a good performance by the guy who was playing like the guy being reborn as some kind of angel of vengeance, but it was like pretty light on the biblical like occultism that made sense. It was just like she's beautiful and it's a cult and she's beautiful. Like they seemed to back off the occult aspect of the movie more and more, and then like whatever, she's like the new Madonna or something. That movie didn't make all that much sense. You need me on that wall. The dead man will be with us manning the wall with his crossbow and his phaser rifle at the crenellations, giving his thoughts on Enterprise Season 3. If you want to pick a few episodes to key in on, you can do that. I know for me, one of the best episodes of the season is probably going to shock people, but I think it's probably going to be North Star. I like that Star Trek like deep departure from the vengeful storyline. That was like the one regular Star Trek episode in that whole season. But back on land, man, Demi Moore, like Monty's dead. I don't know how deeply she reshuffles the deck or how much influence Rebecca has on her. So I think we're all a little concerned about what Rebecca does and her take on what's going on.
Well,
Here's
Monty
the first
was smart.
quote.
I mean, he brought her on board, but he made sure let everybody know that Tommy's calling the shots if he kicks the bucket.
He was very smart. He made Tommy president of operations.
Yeah.
By the way, on the far left, I believe that's Ariana's husband, Elvio. I believe that's Elvio on the far left there. I believe that's him.
That is correct, sir.
Yeah. I'm not sure who that is on the right. That's not Dale. And the other guy on the crew I thought was black, but
The
maybe
guy on
not.
the right he was the senior member of the team.
Okay, so I thought that Michael Pena was the number one guy.
No, he wasn't. He was the second guy.
Okay, so yeah, so there's your team, and they fuck up at the wellhead, and they cause the explosion in episode 1, where we find out that was actually. Did you catch that in the last episode where they line up times? We step away from them twice, so when we go back the third time, it's day 3. That happened like day 2 or day 3. It's logical enough. It's logical enough. It seemed like it happened by lunch the first day, but it was day 3. So they've been out there 3 weeks. This is 21 days. The show lasts 21 days. The series lasted 42 days, which is weird, right? Because it's like 70 days. It was 10 weeks, but it covers 21 days in their lives. But I mean, we are tracking a bunch of characters. I would say out of just before we step away from the Cooper and Ariana storyline, and let's see if I can't get another picture of Ariana in there for us to see a little bit more what she looks like in character as Ariana. Guys, what did you think is our next step for moving forward with Cooper and Ariana? Is her money going to come into the deal? Is he going to run to a point where she's going to have to put up that $1 million that she has to help? I think that's probably the stakes here, right? And here she is as Ariana, as we see her most of the time in the show. Seems like the most logical thing, right? The stakes will be raised, and she's going to have to throw in some of her money.
You're going to have something to be a plot point where there's a risk for them. You know what I mean? So it can't just be all smooth sailing.
Yes, things have been raised, and I'm willing to throw in money.
Yes. Yep.
Did Teague survive that joke?
Maybe.
Did he have a heart attack?
No, I survived. I was just concentrating on starting the Bumble stream where I say welcome to everyone on the Green Band where we're now live. It took me a minute to get there. Yeah, I call it Bumble.
You're on the dating app?
No, it's Rumble, but like YouTube doesn't really like when you say the name, so I try not
green
to.
Machine.
Yeah, don't desert me on YouTube and go over there en masse, but likes and stuff like that. And also just like racking up the studio time. People watch after the fact. We're reviewing Landman Season 1, and we're going to talk some Star Trek news afterwards. So right now, just rounding out the end of our landman conversation, like we said, we have Ariana and Cooper's story is at the end. Cooper has a landman plan. He's not exactly going to be the leaseholder, but he's going to be like a rights holder in a limited fashion in partnership with the people who own the land. It's already like looking like it's a fairly benevolent deal. He seems to be a little less of a greedy landman, but he has a more well thought out, lower stakes landman plan than some of the other people in this show. So I thought that maybe the fact that he was approaching these people with something that wasn't really going to cost them money maybe made him seem a little nicer. And also, here she is, Rebecca Falcone. I don't know if she has any relationships or any love for anything but her personal massager, as she pointed out, and really like money. And she seems to get off on power. The show couldn't figure out what to do with a liability lawyer. They got her there in good order. But the one big compromise here going into season 2 is even though she's not that kind of lawyer, they're going to bring her up to speed and jump her up over Nathan as the rights and acquisitions lawyer to get more land and territory. But she doesn't know the basics of negotiation, so they're going to bring her up to speed in a couple of days. This seemed a stretch.
Well, would it be legal for me to change my name to Power?
What? I would be fine with me. Why not? Max Power did it.
Yes.
And Max Power does not abbreviate. But I thought that they did a great job here. Rebecca Falcone, much different than Kayla Wallace. Good acting there. And Landman season 2, looking ahead. The Sicarios finally come back. They give him Tommy a real beatdown. They tell him a few things about how it's going to be. And that's really about it for the show. He kind of limps back home. Angela, for once, is going to, take it seriously and not, give him a hard time about what's going on. And she's going to lay back and let him just recover from this beating. And the show ends with him seeing a coyote by, I guess, its mate, looking sad. And he's like, "You better run, pal." So I don't know, I guess, what the symbolism there, except that maybe his time is passing and they shoot coyotes out here.
Yeah, they shoot coyotes out here. That first one in the episode where that his next door neighbor shoots the coyote right in front of him. I was not expecting that.
No, very, very, very controversial and very disconcerting. But we end on like a weird note, and I guess season 2, both Cooper and Tommy are in the same arc. Tommy's thing is he's doing a super crazy gambling, high risk but hedged to a degree attempt to save MTEX. And he says he's doing it for Cammy and for him and also for Monty's memory and Monty's children, which seems fair enough. He said Monty was his oldest friend. That came pretty late in the season too. I don't know what the connection between Monty and Tommy is. We never found out. Did they play football together? Is that why they're such close friends? It seems like Tommy is supposed to be a little older than Monty. I don't. Are they all 60? Is that the deal?
I'm thinking that maybe Tommy saved Monty from the Sicarios.
Either that or when MTEX was going big, Monty was one of the backers, and when it fell apart, Monty bought most of the company and kept Tommy on as the MTEX landman.
Yeah, that could be
something like
too.
that.
Yeah,
that would
be
be
Folded it in with his holdings, right? He's like, "Well, I got my part of the patch. I'll buy yours, and you know what you're doing here." Something like that. Friendly competitor that he went to school with, because he talked about his impressive rags to riches story as a kid, and that was compelling. And then we lose Monty. His heart gives out on him. We see a flatlined monitor. There is no emergency in his room, and his wife and daughters are crying bitterly. So it would seem that's the end for him. And Tommy has said he does not expect him to pull it off. So Landman Season 2, Cal Morris is going to come in. He's a no-nonsense oil industry veteran and longtime friend and mentor to Monty Miller. How he wouldn't know Tommy is beyond me. That might have been an overstepping in the dialogue or a mistake, or he knows and doesn't like Tommy. We'll find out. In season 2, Cal steps in as a serious regular to help Tommy. Okay, there we go. Navigate the chaos after Monty's death. Think strategic advisor, voice of hard-earned wisdom, and occasional enforcer when corporate or cartel threats escalate. How is he going to be? He's an 83-year-old enforcer? I love Sam Elliott, but come on. He's got deep ties to the land, the crews, and the old school way of doing business, making him a counterweight to the slick boardroom moves and Cammy's push for change. Elliott's gravelly presence fills some of the void left by Ham with a rougher, more mounded edge. All right, so he's still there to represent the interest of the company. He's Monty's oldest mentor. I guess he knows Tommy. The only thing that makes sense here is either he's down with Tommy or he thinks Tommy was a bad influence. I don't know. Or that he just respects Monty for taking on the charity of helping his friend Tommy, who Sam Elliott never liked. We're going to find out soon enough. That the Sam Elliott angle will be interesting. We saw him do some of the best acting we've gotten from Sam Elliott, honestly, in 1883.
Yeah.
Taylor Sheridan knows how to work with him. What did you guys think about his other Taylor Sheridan appearance? Guys, 1883 Sam Elliott, one of the more powerful characters in a hard-to-sell role. Very emotional, very difficult, very controversial.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I liked him in that role. I liked him a lot. Although I like Sam Elliott and almost everything he does. So
This role seemed to be written just for him rather than just a role that he happened to be in, though. They wanted Sam Elliott's gravel. They wanted Sam Elliott's grit. The way he talks to the immigrant wagon train. I don't know, radioactive. That was an emotional beginning in 1883 for Sam Elliott, burning down his own house after his wife and daughter die of cholera, I believe it is. And he's just out of his mind with grief and takes off.
Yes. Yeah, he does. But we'll see how his role turns out here in season 2 of Landman. We don't know exactly how this is going to roll out.
While it might have been the kind of thing that happened in 1843 and maybe still in 1883, even though they had germ theory at that point, his beginning in 1883, where he sees his family dead and he's having a meltdown and he's very sad and he's emotional, it never diverges. It never drops to scenery chewing. It's never unconvincing and it never sucks. He's right there selling it. When he burns the house down, he's a man who's doing something that I believe. I believe that he's really doing this stuff. It was very tough to sell. I don't know how many actors could do that. What did you think of his performance and how he later on was able to deliver on this damaged person who still somehow functioned well enough?
Oh, I didn't have any problems with the performance of Sam Elliott. He's a great actor, but there are some other issues with the show that we've talked about ad nauseum. So the acting wasn't the problem.
The laugh is that the train ride would have been a lot less and no fatalities. All right, so anyone else with thoughts about Sam Elliott helicoptering into this season as sort of an intercessionary on behalf of Monty? We know that Cammy wants to do things in a way that's going to benefit her. And we know Rebecca has ethical problems out of nowhere, even though Tommy gives her shit for it. She might try some stuff too. Thoughts on us set up going into season 2 and Sam Elliott's likely coming in to represent Monty? It's an upgrade, I guess. John Hamm's good, but Sam Elliott.
I think the interesting interplay is going to be what they do with Andy Garcia in his role going forward.
I had not heard of him. Is he? Oh, was that who the
Yeah.
pragmatic Sicario is?
Yep, that's Andy Garcia, man. He looks a bit different. He's aged
and
a bit.
he now has Doc Octopus energy. He looked like Anthony Molina or Alfred Molina, didn't he? I was like, is that Alfred Molina? He was a little too young because Molina's like 70 and this is like, he's about 60, 63. But yeah, he was charismatic in that role, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, well, it just shows that Sheridan knows how to pull in quality actors for his programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and underused ones and over ones that are well loved and underused. Wes Cagle, you were gonna say?
No, no, I was agreeing. I was agreeing, and I thought I was when this guy comes in, and I thought Tommy might be done there for a minute, or at least he was going to be put in the same place that his son was, and then the boss man comes in and sets everything to right, and is like, and he starts talking to me. He realizes, you know what? Hey, I think my underlings went a little too far in a few places here. So let's get back to where we need to get back to.
Forget about Sicarios. You're dealing with the drug lord now.
Yeah.
The dead man says she's a Falcone. They make fun of her. They call her an MCU villain. Angela does, and like, you know what? I do my southern accent. I sometimes do sound like President Clinton. And I just want to say, on behalf of posterity, gentlemen, have you seen how good Monica looks now that she's on the Ozempic? In my opinion, I believe Monica's been taking the Ozempic. She's a fox now. Wes Cagle, get me my phone so I can call. I want to call Monica.
The thing is, though, now Bill's not going to be interested because he doesn't have the baking bread cankles anymore. You know, so
My wife has ankles of stone, but Monica's a fox now. You see how big her boobs are? She got all skinny in the middle, but her boobs still big. I like them that way. That's my President Clinton. When I'll do Tommy, I'll try to do my Texas accent, and it sort of drifts into Hank Hill. But I do my best, and that's our land. That concludes the Landman part of the show, and brings. I think we said all we have to say about Landman. Calm down, Harrison. I think that we need to move on from Landman a little bit and look at something else. Maybe. What's that?
We're not grading it.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's grade season 1 of Landman. Guys, what did you think? Let's start with Radioactive. You're opinionated. You're chomping at the bit. Landman
A.
season 1, we got 10 episodes. You're giving it an A. Wow. Unconditional. An unconditional A. Wow.
Yeah,
no riot, no asterisks.
But actually, if anything, I would probably downgrade my assessment of the Yellowstone shows.
What I'm saying is, in a desert of bad streaming, we have a guy who's consistently giving us decent shows, and he seems to be maybe getting better.
Yeah, that might be a way to look at it. But yeah, this show's much better put together than at least the prequels to Yellowstone. I can't talk about Yellowstone.
People
Prime
talk the highest. Yeah, Yellowstone Prime is beyond my lore knowledge too. There's a lot of it, and I haven't watched it. There's like 70 episodes. You know what? As far as 1883, that's the one that most critics and fans have the highest praise for, and they say it should have been 2 seasons. If that would have gone a second season, it would have hit like terminal problems. They would have stayed in Texas till like episode 13, 15. They fast forwarded to their destination almost out of nowhere, found it almost by convenience. It was a little weak at the end, but like 1923, season 1, better than 1883, like just powers through it. But the season 2, not quite as good as 1883 at any point, and not quite as good as season 1 of 1923 outside, I guess, episodes 1, 2, and episode, I think it was 5, were really, really good. There was like 3 of 8 episodes were really, really good, and the other 5 were like B's and C's. They were the A's, like B's, yeah, and high C's. There was a C here and there. A couple of episodes really annoyed a couple of people. Especially Crimwan got annoyed at one of the episodes really bad.
Which one?
1923?
1883 or 1923?
1923, there was one episode I think that Crimwan really couldn't take. Was it the Marshall
There was a
Ross
lot
one?
of those, but I think there was one that was just beyond my ability to continue watching.
Which one was the one that really made you nuts? Was the Marshall, female Marshall?
No, any of them that were Alex had majority of the storyline.
That's right. You really had it out for Alex. You took great pleasure when Alex finally died. That was a good moment in Crimwan's life.
Yes,
he was very happy to see it.
She didn't suffer good
Celebratory.
enough, though. She just
Yeah,
didn't
you would have
suffer
liked to have seen worse happen to
Yeah.
her, but you're celebratory.
We actually wanted to see more Joker Wolf, but he died very early on, right?
He was the best one-episode villain of that whole series, man. Actually, he covers 3 episodes, but yeah, he like we even have cause and effect where that woman needed to sleep downstairs for a reason and gets killed, and Liz has to like have it out with the Joker Wolf in round 2, and Helen Mirren with that shotgun, she is like 100% hit ratio with that shotgun, man. Don't fuck with her, and when she loads it with fucking buckshot, forget it. So, the Taylor Sheridan, he's never let us down on entertainment. This is his most logical show. And I guess closing out on Taylor Sheridan in general is that he's moving from Paramount Plus to the back to his original home, which is the NBC streaming app, Peacock, and NBC Universal's world. So I would just say we got 3 years. I think we have more than enough to bank on as far as the Landman story has 1, if not 2 seasons left to end. I think next season might be the end, though. Gut feeling, because it's eight episodes again. Season 2s that are 8 episodes have traditionally been the end for Taylor Sheridan and the other shows I've seen, although it's a sample of all of one. I don't know. We have 3 years. He gets to make a theatric movie with Universal. His Paramount contract, there's still the Madison in 1943 to be had, or 1944 to be had. Anybody looking forward to more Taylor Sheridan, or think that it's going to be any sort of interruption in the flow, or any concerns about his move to Peacock? I'm personally not concerned.
I think pretty much anything 1923, Yellowstone, any of that just needs to be discontinued.
If he
Isn't
wanted
Tulsa
to grab
King
a
his?
character, he could.
Yeah. He's doing a great job with Landman and Tulsa King. I mean, he's found a niche market with those 2 series. Something about the Yellowstone I just cannot get into.
Well, he can't work for both at once, but he could set up a writing team and leave them behind and advise a little bit on Tulsa King to keep that going. I just don't know how many more years, 74 or however old he is, year-old Sylvester Stallone wants to work for. But again, doing some of the most interesting work of his career. We never saw Sly Stallone in series television in this manner. I mean, it's a streaming show, but still.
I mean, he's not fighting.
Gangster stuff.
Yeah, he's not fighting. He's not really doing anything too heavy. He's just walking around and talking pretty much the whole time.
Being himself and being a little badass. All right. The Taylor Sheridan moment of our show comes to an end.
1 minute to auto-destruct.
Calm down there, Major. It's going to be okay. And we move on to our other topic we like to talk about. We like to talk about Star Trek on this channel. We got some news coming in. Isn't that cool? Remember this game? You can see people in the windows if you really look, too.
Is that Lego Star Trek?
Man, that looks like
the
it's
NES
going back
game.
ways.
I believe that's the NES game.
Lego Star Wars?
Yeah, no, not Lego Star Wars, like Nintendo Star Wars. It's really old. But listen to this Star Trek United update. Yesterday on the Today Show, so Real Media, Scott Bakula gushed about the love from Star Trek fans and how much he thinks, of us. He spoke extremely highly of the fandom. He said that they were great, that it changed sort of like his career to be in Star Trek. He expressed gratitude towards Star Trek fans, something we haven't heard in a long time, unconditional gratitude from a Star Trek person. He said that he was loving, he gushed about the love from fans. It's a pitch leaked at the Las Vegas Comic-Con in August, and then the San Diego Comic-Con was the big one. Where they talked all about it. He's all in reprising Archer for a grounded adult story, similar to Andor, hopefully not as slow paced. It's like he wants to accomplish the same goals that they want. Both guys, him and Sussman, the writer, want to do like an Andor sort of thing where it like revives the seriousness of it in a sea of stupidity. And I don't think it would be connected to New Trek. It wouldn't necessarily need to make any decisions now, which is what I think is a lot of the appeal. You could kick the can on the decision to wait for Kurtzman to be further out of their orbit before they have to say no. So he wanted to do it, and the blending political intrigue with family drama, which to me means fun for the whole family, and Archer's family probably being in there. So a family-friendly show where everyone can kind of enjoy it. And he joked about crowdfunding it himself, but he emphasized that the overwhelmingly positive reaction has him hopeful, saying you never know with Paramount having all those changes. No official moment, but Sussman reiterated that it's evolved since their initial pitch to Kurtzman's secret hideout like 9 years ago, who passed on it, by the way. And does anyone not think that Kurtzman passing on this is the secret sauce that has everyone liking it? It's like if he didn't like it.
No, you may be correct in that assessment. That if Kurtzman is rejecting it, that may
the
be
endorsement money can't buy. Yeah.
But I kind of like I've said multiple times, Teague, on your show that I agree with kind of JT on this one, on his assessment. That I'm not sure that a show with Bakula coming back is the way to go.
Yeah, no, a lot of people have their doubts, and the doubters are justified.
I'm
not going to tell people they're wrong on this one. It is a far-flung idea when we had a lot of normal Star Trek to deal with, but it is, I will say this, the best idea we have heard since 2017 or 2009.
Yeah, but to be honest, what is that saying? I mean, here's the thing. Bakula coming back as the president of the Federation. Okay. If you made it some political drama, that's one thing. But if they're going to try to figure out some Rube Goldberg type of scheme where he's now back commanding a ship, I
think the commanding of the ship would be his son.
Field here.
He's got apparently 2 offspring, one connected to T'Pol and one with the captain of the Columbia, the one he has that weekend adventure with where they climb both the Denali and Mount Everest the same weekend. They are really robust people. But I think he has a kid with her. And that one's in the Carol Marcus tradition, and then a more traditional kid that knows about him with someone else. So one of them, I think, would be the Starfleet captain. There would have to be a ship component. I'm assuming that there would be an exploratory ship component, or they would use the temporal Cold War to fix the Trip storyline.
Well, there's going to have to be a ship involved, and that they're going to be like phoning home to Archer like every 5 minutes. What do we do now? Well, this is what I did back in the day. Right. Okay. Got to go. I've got to meet with some diplomats on whatever, Rigel 7. We're going club. I mean, I don't know.
I think the point of view would change. I think it would be Archer's point of view mostly, right? He would be trying to do the difficult negotiations and first contact type things, although first contact would be in the past by the time you meet him. But, try to impress people in the reason to join the Federation, why it's for the best. And, maybe bringing about an end to the Romulan War where we could see a spectacular battle sequence just out of context to frame his need to end it. We could begin this with a spectacular battle sequence in the possibilities for action and adventure on the final frontier are still out there without Bakula being a two-fisted, hard-loving, phase pistol-wielding captain. We have room to, move in number 1 types and Riker types to successfully do that, and maybe the show goes somewhere. Like, we don't know what this idea plus a season would bring us either. It took Enterprise a little while to lose and then refine its way. But people who are
I just feel, this is just my take on it, I just feel that the show needs to be given a rest for a while. And I understand
Star Trek
from
in
their
general, yeah.
Yeah, I understand from their perspective they want to get something out because obviously you have a property, you want to get something going. But look what happened. Aside from all the agenda issues with Star Wars, I think they would have ended up with viewer fatigue, even if the shows were decent. Okay, and
It's hard to say. They're so bad.
no, that's the thing. You would have ended, but they were bad because they inserted all the agenda crap and
We've
other
entered the
things.
dark territory. Time to change up the logo. There we go.
But even if you throw all that agenda out, you're going to end up with viewer fatigue. And in
You
a
might
way,
be right.
that's what happened with Enterprise. There was a lot of viewer fatigue that people forget about.
You know what it was? It was viewer fatigue from knock-on effect from the Deep Space Nine and Voyager and the Voyager ending. There was enthusiasm for season 1 of Enterprise. Something went wrong with season 2. It was really lackluster. And by season 3, they had broadcast continuity and what night are they on issues all at once. So they screwed themselves with a network that couldn't hold it together. The network implodes. I mean, that didn't help either. I'm not trying to make any excuses. The show was canceled on its own merits, but what happened. It does seem to me to be a decent place to continue from. I don't have the kind of philosophical problems that other people have, although I acknowledge that those are legitimate things to say. Here's the thing. As the leader of the largest independent Trek viewing community that's not corporately sponsored or beholden to anyone, as the biggest independent Star Trek reviewer, I'm going to say this. I choose to have hope in this project until proven otherwise because it is not Kurtzman. It is people who have produced very good stories for me in the past. I have been surprised, and they have thrown Star Trek at us that does not sound good on paper that worked out in the Xindi arc. That does not sound good on paper either, and it worked out. So I'm willing to give this a chance. And even if it doesn't work out, it's just a prequel to a prequel that's a sequel to a sequel. And you know what? We can forget about it and move on. There wouldn't be the kind of damage. Optimally, we would wait a while on Star Trek. What we hear is they're not willing to. They think that they could shake off the Kurtzman stuff with a good story. And Trek United proves that's not crazy. With the best people in the business on it, maybe the Ellisons can do this. They want that feather in their cap. People connect them to Trek 09 and say, "Oh, look, they did that. They're also into the chaos." My response to that is, they didn't know how bad it was going to be at the time, and everyone now knows that JJ is over. They now know that JJ is over, just like we do. So there was fresh comments from Bakula. The story and character teasers were dropped. There were some more lore bombs in recent interviews. Archer's got 4 adult kids, okay? Deep cut twist from his romance with Captain Hernandez of the NX-02. Scattered across the galaxy in roles like diplomacy, intel, and sea Starfleet ops. So I knew that there's at least a secret agent in this one. This would dive into Federation growing pains, espionage, fragile alliances, and Archer's presidential yacht starship. Concept art by Trek designer Robert Probert. Andrew Probert just leaked. Looking sleek in post-NX-01 era. It's envisioned as prestige Trek, no fan service overload, just high-stakes drama about building a utopia amid the chaos, which at least sounds hopeful. I do still understand. Like, a lot of people have had enough of the shit from the Star Trek people. My hope comes from the fact that these are different Star Trek people. The fan and industry hype has been exploding. Screen Rant, which take it with a grain of salt, but Screen Rant just published why Paramount must greenlight this op-ed today, citing the groundswell since August podcast, YouTube, X threads discussing the Romulan War tie-ins. Again, you can have a lot of action right away with that. On X, the Trekkies are spamming Skydance with "Make United Happen, Please," fan art of Archer's family, and even AI-generated Mako Chaplin concepts tying into Enterprise lore. I don't know how much I like that. Sci-Fi Fanatics live stream last night dissected it alongside the Khan audio drama and Academy teasers. Sci Fanatics needs to calm down. The Con audio drama is bullshit. That sucks. That was terrible. Bottom line, no script or casting calls yet, but with the Ellison's Trek push and this viral momentum, this is the closest thing to a sure bet for non-Klingon, non-Kirk Spock spinoff. If it happens, it would slot in perfectly to the vibes that they tried but failed to get on Picard 3. We'll keep our ears to the ground on this for updates. Maybe Trek Movie will tell us something. They're the pulse on this one. And I would say, has anyone heard about Predator Badlands?
Oh, before you
Moving
go, before we change the topic,
Sure.
can you check your super chats?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Got a couple
you
of them.
do have a gift from Ruby Hoove. And
Oh.
you super chat
you
from her
got
also.
a couple of Yep.
Ruby, I
Oh,
want to
yes.
thank you for making yet another person a member of our community. Let me see who is lucky enough to be made one of us by you. Ruby Hoove, and let me heart your super chat, Ruby Hoove. Thank you so much. Crimlon gave a membership. Ruby Hoove bought Ages Flow, welcome, by courtesy of our friend Ruby Hoove. And Crimlon gave the Phantom Outsider, Phantom, welcome, a gift membership. Congratulations on your membership. Ruby Hoove, thank you so much. And everybody liking up on her donation, really, thank you so much. The interactions on the Super Chats help hype us up. And if you know how to use the hype, use it, because I don't know how. Ruby Hoove says... And thank you, by the way, Crimlon, for the membership. I really do appreciate it, my friend. Really just overwhelmed with the generosity here. And Ruby Hoove, we will have a wonderful evening. Thank you for underwriting the second half of the show where we go into the Predator Badlands thing and a couple other pop culture things before we round it out at about the 2-hour mark. Thank you so much, Ruby Hoove. And you have a wonderful evening too. We heart your super chat. You are the best. And JT Kirk right in there thanking people. JT, thank you for being there as a great advisor and friend of the show. I hope you're ready for Saturday's discussion where we retrospectively, wow, we got a bunch of stuff coming. We have several super chats in a row. It's so amazing. I want to thank you. And the dead man says, Teag, rumor I've heard from, I think Chris Gore, is that Kurtzman is pitching or pitching ideas and being left out of the room. Huge grain of salt. All right, here's the deal. I could believe that he's being laughed at in some circles because there are people who do think that Alex Kurtzman should be allowed to continue. Here's the thing. I think Chris Gore is reporting this in good faith. He's a good faith YouTuber, and his sourcing is much, much, much better than mine. His sourcing is so good that when I sometimes go to screen film threat, when I chat to him and when I super chat him, he acknowledges in a way that made me think that he kind of is aware that I do the Star Trek thing. He's kind of gives me a knowing nod when he reads the chat. Alan seems to be tuned into Star Trek too very well. These are two guys who love TNG, so I would believe that their sourcing is good. This is the caveat. I've heard from other people, this would be Tom and Andre, that there are two split camps in what to do at Paramount. This all goes back to before the Paramount sale went final. But we still don't know how fast and how quickly Paramount is being taken over by the Ellisons. We knew they got their number one thing done, UFC. We could debate whether that was more important than Taylor Sheridan. I would say in the long run, Taylor Sheridan's more important. But for event and just big moments, you definitely probably want UFC. But I don't think he's being laughed out of the room. I think that maybe Star Trek is a hard sell right now. The thing is, no one has gotten the fans excited, and if he's being laughed out of the room, if the ideas are terrible, that's one thing. If it's because Star Trek is damaged, that's another. So the thing to do is to keep hyping Trek United. If it's imperfect and he doesn't get it because they know it's bad, you know what? That doesn't happen. But the idea that there's an appetite for a return to the original continuity of Star Trek, a license that is unblemished. Kurtzman has its own license, okay? And the movie license is still out there, too. The movie license that JJ had was separate. So there's a few Trek licenses. They're not good. The thing here is, I do not think a reboot would work. No one wants more movies with Kirk and Spock. That's a closed book. It was perfect. I think Unification closed the door very well. It's not goodbye to Star Trek if they do it right. I think something happening 35 years after All Good Things, where we hear that Captain Picard has indeed died of Ironic syndrome in France, but long, long after the time frame of the movies, which we don't discuss, where we're 35 years after the end of TNG, sort of close to what real life is. I wonder what you guys would think of picking up there and just going forward with an interesting crew in their own sector of space and not getting into the larger thing for a little while. And doing series television with Star Trek again. Anyone got an appetite for that? And thank you, the dead man. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about this one now.
Well, they would be much better off moving forward than going backward.
I agree.
In my opinion.
You got to be
do
right.
something. But if they did a limited look, I'm willing to at least try it out with the Bacula stuff, but I'm not going to get overly excited about it with all the bad treatment we've been given the past
I think the deal is
15 years. And it's not just Trek, it's all these franchises, to be honest.
You're right. If they coordinate together to make a complete story, you could have the Trek United be a 90-minute movie as long as Section 31, but good, and maybe if it really works out, do another movie next year and not have to go forward. I don't think it should be a 10-episode streaming show. I think it should be a movie or a real series. There's no middle ground. You can't have it both ways. So I'd say do a movie on that one and then go forward with something in the future, like we were saying. Well, because you could have it both ways with that much of it. What do you think of that?
Well, I'm okay with them trying it out, but here's the thing, Teague. They're going to have to knock it out of the park. They're going to need a home run. They can't just get
or just not suck it up and walk away with a less bad impression as your last dip at Star Trek still doesn't hurt. As long as it's not unreasonable. You know what I mean?
Well,
a quality,
say,
but not home run. What about a solid double?
Not to slam Sheridan too much, but they can't have a broken storyline like they did in, say, 1923. They can't have side quests that go nowhere. They're going to have to
they can't
solid.
They need to stick all story thread landings so that people feel like there's attention being paid more than have anything else, is what you're saying. More than action and adventure, more than a final frontier with a space battle. You want people to keep speaking in a way that makes sense. You want storylines that wrap up sensibly. And you want basically order restored to storytelling on the final frontier. Cause and effect.
Yeah.
Therefore, storytelling.
It's like in any sport, right? How do you get good at any sport? You practice the fundamentals. And these guys in Hollywood are not practicing the fundamentals of filmmaking or storytelling or anything else. So I don't know.
Case to be made, they're practicing the undermentals. They're underperforming so badly. But thank you, the dad man. So we're trying to address Chris Gore. I would never second guess Chris Gore. The thing is, are there still two fountains of equally valid information with the Paramount people just vacillating back and forth? Or has change reached as far as Star Trek? You would think it's a priority, so we don't know when he heard it. He's not lying. We don't know about his source. We know he's decent and smart, and we don't think that he would fuck up vetting. So I'm inclined to be partial to what he says, but I'm not about to commit to anything fully, simply because we can't know for a little while. I don't know about being laughed out of the room. I do know that there are some people who just probably wouldn't take. I need to know why. Is it because Star Trek just doesn't command any What the two camps of information? Yeah, every time I talk to them, they say they have two equally viable well springs of information for it, and it's just very difficult to figure out and decide what the hell is actually going on to the point that you can make sense of it because they're mutually exclusive things, and it seems like there's two Star Trek camps. Yeah, this would be the best thing to do is return to that kind of wagon train in space outlook, although, you can tweak it a little bit. Not so much for modern audience, but for modern attention spans and stuff like that. I mean, it can be worked on without being substantially changed. We've seen people do a few little tweaks to Star Trek. Our departure from episodic storytelling, it was really, really cool. And Ruby Hoof, yeah, thank you for supporting the fleet. I want to thank everyone who supported the fleet tonight. A really touchingly generous night. Let's take a look at our poll. 18 votes. Feelings on the Gremlins 3 movie. Let's talk about this when we're done. Sir, no one cares anymore. 61%. I'm with that one. I'd see it. 17%. Small Soldiers is Gremlins 3 to me. No one's buying that one. Like the stream, see the results. You're all wonderful people, and I thank you. I think we can end this poll. Guys, Gremlins 3 being talked about. Thoughts? Wes Cagle, Gremlins 3, sir.
Yeah, I voted for that. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares.
No one cares. Doesn't matter.
That's where I voted. I'm not. I mean, I enjoyed the first one. I didn't think the second one was all that good. So third one, I don't need.
The second one was funny, and it had the EMH Robert Picardo's in it.
Yeah, I know. It's just that here's the deal. I probably watched the first Gremlins, 15, 20 times. I've watched them a lot of times. I watched the second one once. I didn't bother watching it a second time. It was good. It was good enough. It's just not great.
No, I get you. The second one, it's what they want to do is shake off everything about the first one. So JT wanted to hear it. So here's the stream results, and President 47. What did you think? What does our audience think of seeing Gremlins 3?
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Oh, I'll let you answer your own question
Sir,
on that
that
one.
was so controversial. Sir.
No one cares. Okay, that's the end for Gremlins. No one cares. I don't know if I said it here or not, but I think that multi-pronged series that takes place in the era of the Stargazer NCC 2893 and the Enterprise 1701C and whatever that ship Captain Owen Paris served on. It's possible. I mean, you could do it. The problem is they're going to want to stay away from characters that were too much invented by other people. So I don't know if they're willing to pay for Tom Paris because they didn't have the money to make Paris Locarno. So they just made him a cutout copy of Locarno. And it did okay. Yeah, the dead man likes Gremlins too. And did anyone notice the Trump character in Gremlins 2? Clamp? And
No.
Clamp Tower?
I'll get to that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Trump.
Is it? Okay. No.
It's actually, the movie's actually funny. It's meant to be just like a really raw and rude comedy. We need a 100% new crew. All we've had is member berries and cameos in the Kurtzman Trek. It's been 1,000% utter and complete disaster. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to give you more Star Trek joy than you've ever gotten from Kurtzman right here.
Why, Spock? Why? All you had to do was pull the trigger.
I mean, that was better than anything we ever got from them. You know what? I believe that JT is correct. Hello, Outlaw. It's good to see you. JT is correct in what he says. You know what? When we saw some of the stuff that we've been seeing in the last couple episodes of Enterprise, like when we went back to the Mirror Universe, we saw earned callbacks. We have to get away from member berries and get back to earned callbacks. All right.
Yeah.
So you're determined that people seeing the NX-01 would be a great thing. Just showing it in the Museum of Ships, because you went there in Picard, that sucked. But working it into the show meaningfully, like they did with the 17 with the Constitution class ships, and going back to the mirror universe, guys, didn't you feel that was very earned rather than just pandering? We'll start with West.
Yeah, no, they when we got the Constitution class ship in Enterprise, it was story driven. It just wasn't sprinkled in, to go, oh look, Easter egg, oh look. So,
Outlaw
I
Bill
think it
gives
was
us the
fine.
football score. The Denver wins. Thank you, Outlaw. I thought that Mirror Darkly was their best episode. It's a shame that it came close to the end. It's a shame that it wasn't done in a way that could have saved them. It had me very interested in seeing more from that crew. It also turns out to ironically be a fairly good way to more or less sign off. Yeah, you know what? Mirror Universe was 200% earned. Team to Paul. I think I can reward anyone on Team to Paul. I think I have a way of doing that. I think I have a way of making people very, very, very rewarded about Team to Paul. It's very controversial, sirs. Sirs and madams, Admiral Teague searching for his DePaul pictures. We've got some great stuff here. It's very hard to see at a very tiny. Here we go. I think that's DePaul right there. Is that her? Oh yeah. How's that? Let's get you some DePaul abs and DePaul tan lines. Got some tan lines going on in her hips. Man, does she look good. You know, you guys never weighed in on this. Wes Kagan, what did you think of Scott Bakula as Mirror Archer? He was kind of all in physically as an actor. Wes Kagan stepped away. We'll leave him alone. Guys, what did you guys think of Bakula as Mirror Archer? You're
Didn't have a
muted.
problem with it.
Did you think it was good delivery? Did you think he? Well, a couple of people have said that Scott Bakula just can't play evil well. I thought he played scheming and crazy more than evil.
Yeah,
The results of what he did were crazy. The results of what he did was evil, and his outlook was evil because everyone was. But he was more schemy and mean.
Let's face it. He's going up against the split personality of Kirk and wasn't the Mirror Universe episode. It was what was the one where
Enemy Within.
The Enemy Within. It's pretty hard to beat Shatner at "Give me the brandy." You can't do it.
I said, "Give me the brandy."
But even Kirk in the Mirror Universe, I mean, he's going up against some tough competition there. Let's face it.
Well, the original idea to go to the Mirror Universe was brought to them by William Shatner, so I give him credit for that, and I think that's just great. And by the way, hello over there on the green machine. 5 of you watching. I'm very flattered. Please hit those like buttons. They really help. The likes are extremely helpful, sirs, over on Rumble, where we have a few people watching. It's really nice. And, doing well overall. It's always nice to be scattered across the 3 realms, sprinkling the relevance around. And we had, I thought, a real good performance by our entire Mirror crew. Some great Mirror uniforms. And when he gets to the Defiant, which is the show from Foley and Webb, we had so many different kinds of episodes of TOS. I don't know. You got to be a TOS sort of fanatic to know this one. But Radioactive, these are the TOS episodes I thought were rolling around in this. Obviously, Foley and Webb, because that's the incident that gets the Defiant into their dimension, right?
Yes. Allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly. Yeah, right. Starfleet says that Section 31 in the Vulcan Science Council would have said that interdimensional travel is not possible. Also, in there is Mirror, obviously. And I said this, I don't know if you feel this way. I believe that Edith Keeler not dying is what spawns the Mirror Universe.
Oh, I think we've talked about this in the green room before, Teague. I'm in
Yeah.
100% agreement with you. I think the Edith Keeler incident's the whole crux of this problem.
That's what creates the alternate universe that is our final frontier.
I
The
mean, it
Earth
may
was
have been
meant
the
to go
result-
much worse, right? Humanity was meant for much worse than what Star Trek gets out of it.
I mean, Edith Keeler may have the whole Edith Keeler incident may have brought about the Soyverse from Kurtzman and the Jar Jar verse.
Well, certainly it was always mirror universe inspired, but no, I think like the mirror universe that we can actually enjoy, the one we like, I think it diverges from ours with Edith Keeler kicking the can on World War II.
Well, there's that, and then there's the guy that disintegrated himself with the phaser. Which they
That
never
guy was
addressed.
about to get off booze, and
Yep.
like he would have invented an unlimited self-reciprocating power source, but that didn't happen.
That's right.
And that's why there's no Terran Empire. Yeah, McCoy's accidentally dropping of the phaser helped as much as anything else. I would say when we hear casualty figures about World War II and let this be their last battlefield, which is a little bit woven into this episode too, in my opinion, they are so much higher than real World War II. Like, what does Spock say? Like 730 million in your second World War. It's like, what? Wait, what? There were only 3 billion people on the planet at that point.
Yeah, I forget the exact figures that
It's
Spock
crazy high, though.
but you may be right that those numbers were different, which adds impetus to the idea that something else happened here.
Well, even in their universe, by 1945, escaped people from the losing side of the European end of the Second Great Disagreement had created Khan. Or the Second Disagreement lasted long enough for Khan to be born in about 1948.
No, well,
Because he leaves in 1996, and he is about 45.
okay.
Right? He's not
Yeah,
quite
all
50.
right. Yeah, okay, I'll buy
So
that.
so Khan has to be born, unless he's got growth acceleration, but he had a career there. It would make more sense. And remember, in original TOS, he's not an augment; he's selective breeding.
Well, yeah, because he is the eugenics wars.
Yes. Krimwan, are you read in on this stuff?
Which portion?
The Khan stuff.
Well, the original stuff, it was kind of hard for me to keep track of on Enterprise.
In the original series, we have an episode where we meet the Guardian of Forever, who tells them you can jump back through time, and then McCoy does it and changes the entire future. And so they have no way off this planet, and they have to try to follow him back through time and correct whatever it is he did. And they found out what he did wrong was he kept some peacenik alive, and she delayed the initiation of the Second Great Disagreement, which we lose. And by the way, it looks like Enterprise Stormfront is going to that version of the world, to me. Although we have temporal Cold War time travelers influencing it too. Hey! I want to thank the dead man with another $4.99 super chat. Teag, look up Key and Peele Gremlins 2 script guy. So funny. Did they do a skit on this one? I will look that up. Thank you. Everybody would be well advised to follow the dead man for his takes on humor here, because his Star Trek takes are right on. We're looking forward to doing some commentary with him on Saturday. He was a lot of fun when we had him on with Germ on the viewing party. All right, so yeah, I think the Second Great Disagreement is a lot worse in Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek world that leads into the Final Frontier vision. That maybe it was a lot worse than the one that was, fought by us and lasted a lot longer, like maybe 10 years longer.
You mean the one where Gene Roddenberry actually participated in?
The one where he fought, yes. I also think that maybe Gene Roddenberry's vision kind of has to be compromised a little bit for this Trek United for this story to work, but they did really roll together his ideas and in the spirit of his ideas, because there's so much going on. We have stuff, weaving in from Let This Be Their Last Battlefield, where we have to worry about this speculative and different World War II. We have stuff weaving in from Guardian of Forever, City on the Edge of Forever, where we find out, and thank you so much to Dead Man. I'm going to look that one up. If Wes Cagel's back, his Avatar is still out.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
Avatar.
No. Yeah.
Oh, sir. Sir, you're out of uniform. There you go. Kicking it like the Kaiser with the Kaiserian flag of Kaiserian Germany. Guys, we're doing all right over here. I don't know. Anyone have any thoughts here on season 3 of Enterprise they'd like to contribute? A very different Vengeance Trek, where then all of a sudden we step away.
Say that one again. I missed that.
Any thoughts on season 3 of Enterprise, where it was very different from any other Trek ever, and we had like a good deal of vengeance and saving the Earth built in there?
Yeah. No, well, you can't blame the Earthlings for their vengeance.
The current world events into that season. Let's face it.
Torn from the headline, Star Trek wasn't the best idea, but maybe an attack on like a base or a colony, something. But I guess they had no colonies, right?
You mean,
it's still supposed to be that early.
3?
Or just go destroy Terra Nova, where they had helped those people already, because at least we know them.
Okay, Cestus 3, right? You know which that was.
Yes, Cestus 3 is where we get Gorny with the Gorn.
Or maybe they could have had them tested the weapon on, like, say, the the moon outpost.
Perhaps a
Something
military
different.
target. Yeah, the system.
I think you overestimate their chances. We've analyzed their attack, and there's a possibility. JT Kirk has been supporting me for 20 months. I can't thank you enough, my friend. Team DePaul for the win. How can Team Hoshi even argue this? Maybe a detailed examination of their knife disagreement? Team Hoshi wasn't winning until there was a late dump of votes, very late in the poll. And I think it needs to be strongly looked into. Mm-hmm. I think we need... we've changed from names to handles.
Tampering in the voting.
I'm saying we've changed from names to handles, and we don't know who voted for what anymore. There's no accountability. And from what I understand, I understand that DePaul was ahead until they bought in lunch and sandwiches. And then they started counting the votes from the outlying, skewed New Trek districts.
Yeah, but let's get something straight. Those voting machines came from the Gamma Quadrant, I think.
That is right. And Darth Cheney, by the way. Congratulations, middle management job in hell. He hung out and held out long enough for it. He had his headhunter negotiating. I heard Satan himself was at the elevator door when Dick Cheney got down there. And hey, Krimon is a member of 8 months. Yes, to Paul's abs all the way. She was a fitness model. She paid attention in acting class. She was not like, I'll be famous, I'm hot. She's just like, I must learn how to be a Vulcan. I admire her tenacity and her dedication to this role. Before we close out tonight, guys, we have a few minutes left. Let's just kick this one around. Has anyone seen? And JT Kirk, thank you for 20 months of support. And thank you, Kremlin, for 8 months support. JT says that we need a more detailed examination of the knife fight disagreement. Hoshi really does great in that knife fight because she's so good with the knife that DePaul, despite her super strength, is temporarily sort of like just holding her own rather than kicking the crap out of Hoshi. And then the show remembers that T'Pol has super strength just in time, and she decks Hoshi pretty good. So I thought that the night fight showed that Mira Hoshi was one crazy chick, and I think that for all this loyalty and all this love, I think we should hear from Empress Hoshi. Let's get a word from her. She's the greatest.
Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen, and she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
Empress Sato for the win. Hot sauce Hoshi. Oh, yeah. Hoshi sauce is the greatest of sauce. She stirs the drink really well in this episode. Let's see if we can find an image of Hoshi, since everyone's enjoying her so much.
Well, that's the thing. See, all you have to do when it comes down to the two of them is who ended up becoming Empress.
Bam, 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 bam. Her abs in this episode. Oh my God. Hoshi also. When we see Hoshi profile bending over from the waist, just showing off that flat washboard abs, she looks great. Yes, says Krimon, Team DePaul's abs all the way. And everyone's loving it. Buddy's loving Hoshi as well. Oh, baby. I mean, anyone, and what a performance from her in this one as the vampy bitch who's also crazy and super violent. And credit all around. Great job on their Star Trek uniforms. Only DePaul's second uniform look was kind of really weird. Have you guys, as we move on from Star Trek real quick, have you guys heard about this Predator thing with Worf?
Yeah, I heard it was horrible.
It starts tonight on IMAX. Predator Badlands don't look too good with Elle Fanning. There used to be like a Dakota Fanning and an Elle Fanning. They're like teenage, adolescent actors, child actors, whatever you want to call them. They disappeared long enough. I guess they're back. They could only be about 28 to 35 in that area now, but so she's in it. Fans are all over this one online that the Predator looks like Worf. The Badland Predators redesign and the young outcasts especially had the unmistakable Klingon swagger, the elongated forehead ridges, the bony crests that scream warrior forehead, and a fiercer, more tribal, mandibled mug that looked like he was chugging blood wine between takes. What did you guys think of the aesthetic of the Predator? Did you see it?
I've seen the aesthetic. I haven't seen the movie, but,
We'll reserve judgment on the movie, but what did you think of the Predator? I thought, by the way, he talks a lot.
Does not
like a
look
normal
good at
person.
all. I really don't like that design.
I don't like the design either.
Yeah, nope, me either.
I'm neutral on the design. I'm more concerned about the story.
All right, so it's go ahead, Gate Radio.
I was going to say, the design of the Predator looks like a mixture between Worf and some underwater creature.
I'm worried about the story. Here's the deal. It's a fresh take on flipping the script on our hero. Here we go. We've flipped the script so many times. Where are we now? So the story is our hero is a young outcast predator, voice and motion captured by Dimitri Schuster Koala Mantanji, exiled from his...
Emo, he going to be emo predator, or is he more like kind of like the bad boy predator with the motorcycle?
I don't know.
Well, see here.
I guess the bad boy. He's exiled.
You lost me. You lost me the minute they said the hero predator. I'm like, predators aren't heroes. They're the bad guys. Go fuck yourself. Get out of here.
They have hero in quotes, but you're right. He's exiled for being too, let's say, unconventional. So I guess that means he's gay. He crash lands on a harsh post-apocalyptic planet called Badlands, and he teams up with a human scavenger. Now, the only human who's managed to survive happens to be Elle Fanning, named Tia, in a dual role that includes some kind of synth AI vibes. So she's her own synth, I guess.
I didn't realize she was playing two individuals, but the one that I've shown in the trailers, she's a synthetic.
Yeah, she's got two roles, but there's a synth of her as well. So that's one of the roles. And they go on a buddy road trip hunt for the ultimate prey, think
It's Predator
this is
and
the part
Cash.
that scared me. They said it's Predator and Cash meets Mad Max. So that's it for that one. And then I would just wonder, so any enthusiasm from the panel? Anyone going to watch it? I'm going to skip it.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if there's like any good reviews. If not, it's like, yeah, just wait.
Crim on.
HBO or something.
I'll definitely see it. Now I'm not really enthusiastic about it.
Sorry, Radioactive. I thought you had finished. Your volume went out on you there. It sounded like you
Oh,
were done.
I muted for a second. It's no big deal.
Yeah, my apologies. Go ahead, Crimon.
I was going to say I'm not very enthusiastic about it, but I'm definitely going to see it. Yeah, I've got a bad feeling this is not going to go the way of being good.
Then why go see it? Just wait.
Well, you know what we missed tonight was something I plan on watching. What we can watch tonight on regular NBC. Sometime after Doomcock, you can watch. Sometime after you're done watching a little while of Doomcock, you can go back and watch Doomcock again after. There's a show that looks pretty funny. It's called Stumble. Has anyone seen commercials for this one? It's on NBC, and then tomorrow, on Saturday, it'll be on Peacock.
I don't even watch any regular TV anymore.
Yeah, I don't even have a hookup for regular TV. So.
Something went wrong for this to get on regular TV. It's pretty good. Maybe it was the strike. Wasn't this one? This one made me laugh.
What's the idea of it? Is
Get
someone
this
just
one.
stumbling down the stairs? Is this about Biden?
No, yes, exactly. It's political. It's like the West Wing. It's called
The whole show is just Biden boarding Air Force One. That's it.
It's called the West Hospice. Stumble is NBC's fresh mockumentary-style single-camera comedy that dives into the absurdly high-stakes world of junior college cheerleading, blending over-the-top athletic mishaps with heartfelt underdog vibes. Created by sibling showrunners Joe Astroff and Liz Astroff, and their shows are Shining, Veil, Trial and Error, Pivoting, Two Broke Girls. So like one of those shows I've heard of. Yeah. It's inspired by real-life intensity of Netflix's Cheer docuseries, but it cranks up the humor with a ragtag squad of misfits. Think of a former football player, a narcoleptic tumbler, a guy with an ankle monitor who can barely stumble through routines without chaos ensuing. The show centers on head coach of the cheering team, Courtney Potter. She's played by Jen Lyon from Claws and Justified. She's kind of cute. I thought she was attractive. She's a down-on-her-luck veteran despite her 15th straight championship win. And she just won the Nationals, but she got caught in the viral video partying with her team, and she lost her job, and now she works at a shitty junior college. And she's at Huddleston State Junior College in Oklahoma. Her ex-husband and reluctant co-coach Boone Potter is played by Taron Killiam, SNL alum, and Broadway's Hamilton and Spamalot was his other credits. So he's got Broadway chops. Breathing down her neck, plus a rival coach played by recurring star Kristen Chenoweth, so we all know her. She was in Schitt's Creek and West Wing. And the ensemble rounds out with Ryan Pinkston as the cocky base of the story. And we got Jared Austin Brown, Anissa Borrego, Ariana Davis, Taylor Dunbar, and Georgie Murphy as the tumbling disasters who somehow you managed to flip their way into our story. It premieres tomorrow at 8:30 on NBC. I honestly, the outtake I saw of this, it looked like it was trying to be heavily lampshaded superhero satire. The sequence I saw was really funny. It was out of context. Someone showed it to me. I'm not supposed to have seen it. I can't give away much. It contains, hey, Dad Man, good to see you. And Daniel is here too. Welcome to both of you. It's great to see both of you guys. Stumble looks like it's going to be a legitimately funny, football-oriented, humorous, I don't think it's going to be continuous. I think it's a limited run. It's mostly for Peacock, but it's going to debut on MSN, on regular NBC. It looks really funny. The stuff I saw of it had an unlikely fight with a beatdown by people who shouldn't win, which seemed to me to be the superhero satire of it. It was like they easily beat up people they shouldn't have beat up. And there was like jokes about body positivity, jokes about the superhero genre. And after this fight where her cheerleaders beat up people where they're not supposed to, the cheerleading coach drinks in the hate of the crowd that throws beer and cups of like soda at her and like food. And she does the dance from Joker. Like the dance he does down those steps. She does the dance from Joker along like the sideline of the sporting event where the where things have gone horribly wrong for her cheering squad. It was really funny. It was really funny. Wes Cagle, you got a greeting coming in.
Oh, yes, sir.
Dadman says hello.
Hell,
Good to see
Dadman.
Dadman. Dadman has a great channel. If you could grab that for me and put it in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, I kind of recommend Stumbled based on the outtakes I saw of it. It was funny. It looked like it had the potential to be really funny. Gremlins 3, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Thank you, Buddy. He's way ahead of us. Thank you so much, Buddy. Buddy doing a great job as our mod here. By the way, Trek Core, Star Trek is over. It's been confirmed over and over again. They ended it in those comics. It's probably the canonical end for them. Noble self-sacrifice. I gotta say, let's be honest. Just as we end out tonight, Kelvin liked the crew, never really liked the stories, and they were only character correct in the third movie, which had a better but not good story. Anyone else? That's my overall take on the Kelvin era. 17 fucking years.
Yeah. Again, the first movie I thought was all right. I enjoyed the first one for what it was. After that, nah.
I have issues with that. I have so many issues with that first movie.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it was okay for what it was. I enjoyed some of it, especially McCoy. I like McCoy.
It made what they did to Star Wars all too predictable. You could see where they were going with Star Wars. Like when JJ got Star Wars, like, oh. He was like one step ahead of accountability the whole time, and then it all caught up to him at once on Rise of Skywalker, didn't it? It was like Lost fell apart, but he had Star Trek. Star Trek fell apart, but he had Star Wars. Resolute Germs out there. Hello, Resolute Germs. Good to see you. Paramount Skydance ends the Kelvin timeline. You know what? There was no more Kelvin timeline stuff to be done. If Germ wants to be on, he can. Although I think we're about to wrap this one up at a very watchable and reconsumable 2-hour show. Yeah, I think we stick the landing here. I think the next time we'll see Germ, who's recommended on the channel tab, is he will be in the he will be doing the watch party. At least I'm fairly sure. Germ, that watch party still. There is no watch party this week. Sorry, my apologies. No watch party this week. I might go on just a tad early on my own and give my take first and talk about the adventure of season 3 and look for plenty of video packages this Saturday. This is a Saving Star Trek you're not going to want to miss. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a lot of opinions, and maybe the Admiral will go on a little early solo to give you some opinions of his own. And It's great to have the whole crew here and all of you. It's really appreciated. We have a chance to try to get together for the Landman panel. I guess the Landmanners are all here. We'll work that out backstage. But for now, I want to thank everyone who came through. I want to thank everyone who voted in our poll where we decided it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Sirs, madams, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. But tonight's show is brought to you by the genius of Gene Roddenberry, as always. Taylor Sheridan's dead-on gritty storytelling, which is something that we don't hear about a lot, other than on this channel where we are champions of Taylor Sheridan. And I want to thank the financial generosity of viewers like you, which include RRTNZ, my good friend Mr. House Party 6, the Dead Man with generous super chats. Thank you so much. All of you are in the Q continuum for this show. Ruby Hoove with a chat and a gifted membership. Thank you so much. Crimlon in on the generosity. The Dead Man I mentioned. JT for 20 months of supporting this channel. And Crimlon, a member for 18 months. I love all you guys. And I love all of you. In the words of Ozzy Osbourne, I love you all. You guys are absolutely the best. It's been a fantastic journey tonight through the world of Star Trek and Taylor Sheridan. And we'll figure out, it looks like maybe the Taylor Sheridan, I watched some. I know you're not talking about me. I think the Taylor Sheridan show will probably, I don't know if it'll be on Sundays or Tuesdays. It's hard to say. It'll probably be Sundays some weeks and Tuesdays the others. But here's the thing. We're the only people who watch that show. And I don't know if I'm going to prepare a video and slides for an episode. I might need to be on Tuesday or even Thursday, because I think maybe the nostalgia or the ability to want to rewatch, the desire to want to rewatch and get caught up happens to spike the day before the next episode plays. So I don't know. We'll find out, sirs and madams. And I just can't tell you how pleased I am that we had such a great little conversation tonight. Having you guys here has been just one of the highlights of my career. When I get to meet up with my YouTube fam and friends, it is always a lot of fun, and it's really validating. Shows that, maybe might have my finger on the pulse of a couple of entertainment things. It's always great to have you guys here. And people are rushing in late, just like it always happens. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what? Sean made this for us. Let's play this in honor of a...
Incoming Sydney Sweeney video. Set burners to full. Lubrication supply sufficient for projected fapping level. Paper towels to standby. Turbo lift door secured and locked. Wives and girlfriend interruption probability at 12%. You may commence masturbatory actions at any time.
That picture of her at the beginning of that clip, that's your picture of her. That's
boy.
That's a good one.
Oh, you know what I love about her is that she's got a lot of time left being that good looking and isn't afraid to be sexy. So keep working out, keep going to the range, do whatever it is you do to stay so beautiful, Sydney Sweeney. We love you. And it's funny. We find, again, on a cracked Judo phone somewhere, someone is reacting to everything I do. I can make them a baseball fan. I can make them a fucking dedicated observer of New York politics, where they talked about the outcome of the election 4 days before it happened because they know so little about America. They think that their elections are on Saturdays. I don't know what the fuck. Get your American political opinion from Americans. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Yeah, so listen. Anything you guys do, if you come through later, especially leaving me, please, first of all, loving and liking the stream is extremely important. It looks like we have more likes on this one than they're able to get producers on New Trek. 28 is quite the compliment from all of you. I can't tell you how humbled I am. And we're just doing great on both platforms. I thank everyone over on Bumble, and I thank everyone over on YouTube. Maybe we got a couple more likes over there on the Rumble stream. No, holding steady at 1. What are you going to do? That's just the way it goes. You know what? Thank you all. And, you've earned this. I mean, here she comes. She's here for you. And again, if you haven't seen the stream, very evergreen. We had a good beginning of this one. We talked about Landman, got you caught up. And you know what? Let's see here, just before we go, is someone being seduced into the world of Admiral Teag. You shouldn't watch the Admiral Teag show. It'll turn you into a degenerate. Not even once. Look what happened to the stalwart Starfleet officer from just watching one broadcast.
That was so controversial. Sir. Sir!
Oh, very controversial. You should not be listening to Admiral Teag. What is wrong with him that he's out there listening to Admiral Teag? I've got some issues with that. Harrison, are you okay with it? I don't care.
I think Freak Out's Spock was listening to your show too.
How dare you?
Spock.
You know what? What happened to the Carthaginians, George?
The Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun. 2,000 years ago, I was here. Well, this match will not be postponed.
Oh, very controversial, sirs and madams. Let's bring back Sydney Sweeney. All right, we love you all, and we're not on anything.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
Shut up!
Okay, I'm sorry, sir. I'll play Sydney Sweeney for you now. I know how you feel about it. Bye, everybody. We'll see you on maybe Friday afternoon next week. We'll have Northern English Bastard on. And very, very quickly, by the way, my pal Northern English Bastard's on with Jill tomorrow, so give that one a listen. It should be some pretty good stuff. What time is she on? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard?
I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look.
She's got Northern English Bastard tomorrow. He's a friend of mine. Yes, about right. Check her out tomorrow afternoon. Look at her channel. Check out the show. Hit the notification bell. You're going to want to catch Northern English Bastard. Tell him Admiral Teag sent you. We're pals. And here's Bacon Spock. Oh, sir. And Sydney Sweeney for the win.